Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Preparation Ape, your number one place for nice big robot dicks.
Ooh.
Gotta give it the rosy palm. That old thing?
Yep.
Well, I'm DKP.
I'm Major Tom.
I'm Senpai Tomato.
And we're coming at you live.
February
Here at,
22nd.
YouTube.com/x3z_.
Dot.
Yes.
Stuff.
Dicks.
On a February 22nd. That's important to note. What do we got today? What's on the Residox?
Let's go to that next slide and we'll find out.
All right. Oh, wrong one.
Since we are 8 days away,
Yes,
about a week
we are
away
definitely 8 days away.
from the Switch launch, I thought it would be a good time to give the Wii U a proper Wii eulogy.
Proper burial.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Take
send
this
it on its
opportunity
way.
to talk about Wii U. Now, granted, this is episode 69, so we could have gone a completely different route with this. But pretty much everybody does the whole, 69, let's talk about sex in video games. So we're going to talk about the best kind of sex. Wii U sex.
Yes, definitely the best. And
Wii U
involves
sex-
getting fucked by Reggie and his law.
It kind of sounds like Deus Ex.
Yeah.
Ooh, Wii U sex.
You mean Deuce EX?
Yes, and that's what I mean. I mean, taking
Yeah.
a Deuce EX. So we're going to do a brief history. I got Wikipedia pulled up right here, ready to go. We're going to talk about what the Wii U got right. We're going to talk about what they got wrong. We're going to go over the Chainsaw Ape top 10 Wii U games. We're going to kind of close it out by leading into the future of like what Wii U ports. It's clear we're getting some Wii U ports on the Switch. So which ones do we want to see? And then we're going to close it out. There's no Ask Gibbs anything. We're clearly not live.
No, we are live. We just have no
Okay.
audience tonight.
No audience tonight. Fuck the audience.
No, they're just, they said fuck us. That's why,
Oh,
no,
okay.
that's why they're not here.
Yeah.
No
Where are
one
you
decided to
guys?
show up.
Bunch
Where
of
are
rude
you?
boys.
Yeah.
Where's
Rude ass
everybody?
shit. So, yeah, do me a favor. There's a ginger ale in that fridge. Could you hand it to me?
A ginger ale.
Yeah, I'm going all in tonight.
Dang.
And then we'll get started.
Episode
With a
69,
Canada Dry.
baby.
Oh, it's the driest Canada has to offer, you know what I'm saying?
Ooh.
All right. Ready, guys? Ready to go?
Yep.
Yeah, let's get some history.
I
All
keep
right.
pressing the wrong button.
I'm gonna look at the Professor E.
I'm telling you, you should have put a little PNG of a penis going into his mouth.
No penises.
So it looks like he really wants to gobble one.
He's about to gobble the history of the Wii U. All right, you guys ready? This might take a while to read. So, system was first conceived in 2008. This comes by way of Wikipedia. System was first conceived in 2008 after Nintendo recognized several limitations and challenges with the Wii, such as general public perception that the system catered to a casual audience. With Wii U, Nintendo wished to bring back core gamers.
They did a great job with that.
Right? With Wii U, game designer Shigeru Miyamoto admitted that the lack of HD and limited network infrastructure for Wii also contributed to the system being regarded in a separate class to its competitors. It was decided that a new console would have to be developed to accommodate significant structural changes. Ideas on which to take for the new console led to a lot of debate with the company, and the project started over from scratch on several occasions.
What was its code name? Cafe?
Project Cafe, yeah.
Lame.
The concept of a touchscreen embedded with the controller was originally inspired by the blue light on the Wii U disc tray that illuminates, the Wii disc tray that illuminates to indicate new messages. Miyamoto and his team wanted to include a small screen to provide game feedback and status messages to players, similar to the VMU.
All right.
Ooh.
Dreamcast, for any of you guys who don't know what the VMU is, was a little...
Virtual memory unit.
Yeah, it was a memory
I think.
card, but it also had a screen on it. Yeah, that attached to the controller.
Which a lot of times was worthless, but certain games like Code Veronica
Neat
showed
concept.
your status on there.
Yeah.
So you knew what your health was.
And Power Stone had items locked to it,
Yeah.
depending on what character you were. Yeah.
And then it had those little for Sonic Adventure. There
Yep,
was like
little
that
chows.
chow thing that was similar to
Yeah, nobody did that,
Tamagotchi.
though.
I did the chow thing.
Much later in development,
No,
this
you
was expanded to a full screen that could display the game being played in its entirety, a concept which was suggested but not financially viable early in the project. Public rumors surrounding the console began in 2010, with speculation of an upcoming revision of the Wii, known as Wii HD, that would support HD and have a Blu-ray drive. However, President Satoru Iwata, the late President Satoru Iwata, later stated that he saw no significant reason to include HD into the Wii, and such an addition would be better suited for a successor.
I can agree with that.
For sure. Miyamoto also expressed Nintendo's interest in working with HD graphics, but clarified that the company is primarily focused on gameplay. In 2009, Miyamoto said that Nintendo had no concrete plans about a successor, but knew that the successor would possibly still feature motion controls, and they expected its interface to be more compact and cheaper. They also mentioned using 3D capability, but decided not to. In 2010, Reggie Fils-Aimé commented, that's the president of Nintendo of America, commented that he felt confident that Wii Home Entertainment console had a very long life in it. That was in 2010. After its E3 2010 presentation, Iwata revealed to BBC that he would begin announcing a new console once Nintendo ran out of ideas with the current hardware. Later, at an investors meeting, he disclosed that they were, of course, studying and developing the next console, but they were simultaneously keeping its concept secret because it was really important for his business to positively surprise people. Fils-Aimé also said that Nintendo's next home console would likely not feature 3D based on 3D technology. In April 2011, an uncredited source indicated that Nintendo was planning to unveil a successor to its Wii, known as Project Cafe. Cafe was claimed to be a high-definition console, also would have backwards compatibility with Wii. Conflicting reports also surrounded the console's new controller, with reports suggesting a tablet-like device with an embedded touchscreen and the ability to stream games from the console directly to the screen, while others reported that the controller would be similar to the GameCube controller and feature dual analog stick, shoulder buttons, and triggers.
It did have those.
Right.
On April 25th, 2011, they released an official statement announcing the system, and then, of course, they talked about it at E3. And then, here we are. We got the Wii U.
And now it's dead.
And
Almost.
now it's dead. So,
We still got Birth of the Breast of a Child coming out.
we do, yeah. And I also read something about how Darksiders 2 was still going to come out for it. Or
Is that not out
Darksiders
yet?
1, I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah.
War Mastered Edition would still be coming out for it. So,
Yeah, but nobody cares about that.
Everyone else jumped ships already.
I mean, it kind of leads to a lot of the problems, but honestly, this doesn't sound bad. Like, if you imagine that the Wii U didn't exist and we heard about this, we're like, holy shit, Nintendo's going HD finally. Like, a little too late, but about time. Plus the
It's a
idea
real
of being able to play the games on a screen,
Yeah.
Yeah.
like separate from the console itself, sounds very cool.
That'd be a universe. That'd be a real sad thing to have to say in 2017. They're going HD.
They're going
finally?
HD.
Oh,
I can't wait.
amazing.
I can't believe it.
I mean, that's what we're saying now about the Switch, you know?
But they're going HD mobile now.
Yeah. Which, based on the concepts, based on what they announced, that's what we expected. They never said that of course they're not going to, at least that early, but they never said, like, yeah, it's good.
Sorry. Some
Your
weird shit going on with this cat over here.
All right. It just stopped everything.
Yeah.
They never said, like, it's going to be tethered to 10 feet away from your console. You can't take a shit and play at the same time. God knows I've tried.
I mean,
I don't think
bad money.
I mean, it depends on your...
You can just shit right
house
here.
setup.
You
That's true.
could.
You can
I mean,
poop suck it.
Oh yeah.
All right.
But yeah, so that is a brief history.
Any thoughts on the Wii U in terms of its history, like how it started? You think that they had a good idea? I mean, think about, put yourself in 2010,
No, I think it was a good
2011.
idea.
It was a great idea because
Not
also
the best execution, but good idea.
And we'll definitely talk about that.
it was a great idea because then it forced like Microsoft and Sony to like release some games that had second screen functionality. Because like that's what some games did from Sony. It was
sure,
like,
yeah.
oh shit, Nintendo has a second screen. Okay,
We have to do second
hook
screen
your cell phones up
experiences.
to it. And
Yeah.
you can do it now.
I remember when the Division was supposed to have that second screen experience where you could like control
Like a drone
turrets
or
and stuff
something.
like that. Drones, yeah, pretty interesting.
Then most
companion
developers-
apps, that sort of thing.
Yeah,
Yeah, that wasn't really a good thing though. It
Yeah.
just kind of sucked.
Most developers were
Yeah.
like, "Oh, this is actually extremely dumb.
Yeah.
Why are we
Yeah.
doing this?"
cool.
So
Nothing
yeah,
else on that.
all right. That was a very brief history.
A brief history.
You know what I'm saying?
So let's talk about what went right. What did the Wii U accomplish that it set out to? I mean, there's definitely a couple of things that come to mind that I really appreciated. You want me to start?
Yeah, you start.
Okay. I really, really, really like the ability to have something different on my TV and place like solely on my tablet. I've been playing through Twilight Princess HD, and I haven't even played it on my TV yet. I just play it sitting on my couch on my tablet, the Wii U gamepad. like I'm playing it like a handheld game, and I really, really like that idea. Obviously, the Switch is doing that way better with the ability to kind of take it with you. But the screen was a nice size, and it wasn't too uncomfortable. Granted, looking back, and especially compared to the Switch, it looks like a Fisher-Price toy. But we're here to talk about what went right.
Yeah, it kind of does. But yes.
I really like the ability to, sit on your couch and play it and not have to occupy your television in order to do it. I also like, we talked about it a second ago, but like HD, although it wasn't the most powerful console on the market during its life cycle or lifespan, like games like Mario Kart 8 and Splatoon, things like that,
Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze
were absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah, they did look good.
Yeah, they looked very, very good. They didn't need 4K. Even the tablet, I think, was like a 440 screen, like 440 resolution. Still looked incredibly good. So I thought they did a really good job with working within the limitations of what they had. Something that I thought was really unique was we got some like console exclusives. Fucking cat, bro. We saw a couple of console exclusives, but specifically we saw Nintendo try new IP. Something like Splatoon. I thought that was a really interesting idea. We didn't get anything too revolutionary beyond Splatoon, but they did a couple of things like they did with previous generations. Back in the day on the GameCube, they had that Capcom 5 or whatever that was like Beautiful Joe.
Oh yeah,
and Resident Evil 4 and whatever that P&O 3. They revived Bayonetta.
Speaking of white games,
I was going to piggyback off of that. How Nintendo revived a great, fantastic game. Yeah. They're like, oh, this game's actually amazing. Why don't you take some of our IP characters and put it into it?
Yeah.
So they actually loosened up a little bit with their IPs and make Peach sexy in this game. Which I thought was really badass.
Yeah. Even granted, we saw this with Microsoft as well, but getting Nintendo exclusive characters and skins in Minecraft, I thought that was a really novel idea of taking some of their IP and spreading it into other, third-party games.
It's like AIDS, but like the kind that you'd want. So HIV.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
And only select people have it.
I don't quite follow, but I'll take it.
I mean, it spreads the same way. And it kills T cells, that sort of thing.
Yeah. You gotta kill those T cells.
Mm-hmm. I like the amount of controller options.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Being able to play the GameCube controller with select titles. Yeah. Or was it only one?
I think it was only Smash.
Only one. Only Smash.
You only need it for one.
That's true.
I guess.
Yeah.
The Pro controller was alright. I do not like the non-diagonal joysticks.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but
garbage.
The battery life on the Wii Pro controller was insane.
Yeah, really good.
80 hours.
Also, the fact that you could buy a battery pack for the Wii U tablet from Nintendo, and it was I think $40.
Yeah,
and it extended the life by double. So that was just pretty nice as well.
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
I'd say once again, I think Nintendo is still the best console to bring everyone together. Usually if I have a party at my house, we're playing Smash, we're playing Mario Maker. It's still the funnest console to have with friends.
I had some good times with Mario Party 10. Most of it was bad times. But there were nuggets of good times.
It would have been more fun if you could play not cooperatively.
Yeah.
It'd be more fun if you didn't play with me as well.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Yeah. That's fair.
But I mean, it wasn't the greatest console.
It wasn't. It did some things right.
Yeah.
And it's always good getting, like I mentioned with new games or new franchises, we saw some really interesting and unique ideas in forms of things like Mario Maker over here and Captain Toad's Treasure Tracker, taking some IP we already know and recognize and kind of putting a little twist on it.
Yeah.
Now, granted, there were versions of failure on that, but we'll talk about that here in a moment. Anything else?
That's all the goods that I got.
Yeah, it just really brought people together. The few times they had games worth the shit playing, it really brought them together to play them.
Yeah.
Very true.
Cool. Let's move on.
All right. Now the bad. Yeah,
You're I can't wait to talk about the bad.
I'm too tired to get that super hyped to shit on it. And it's not that fucking bad. But what I will say is Out of any console that I purchased, this one had the shortest shelf life.
Yeah.
2 different times.
Yeah,
when I bought it,
twice.
was really excited to have it.
Spend a little bit of time
and then within
with
like a month, like it was basically just like up on the shelf, not being used.
Yeah.
And it's been that way.
Yeah, there was a stream that the Easy Allies did a couple of weeks ago. And they were talking about the Wii U, and somebody was like, "Yeah, it fell off my entertainment center, and we think it broke." And the guy's like, "You think it broke? Why don't you know?" And he was like, "Well, we never bothered to plug it in to check to see if it actually worked."
There's nothing we wanted to play on it.
Yeah. So, and that kind of speaks a lot to what the problems are. There were a lot of problems with the Wii U. I think we're going to spend a lot more time here than we did in the last slide, but the amount of even first-party games was very limited.
Yeah,
they were hot out of the gate with Mass Effect, Batman Arkham City.
That's third-party nonsense that were all games that came out on previous platforms.
No, I know, but yeah.
And that's not the stuff that people care about on Nintendo consoles.
But it was like pretty much after that, it was like, that was it.
Yeah. You don't think about Resident Evil 2 and be like, man, I love the Nintendo 64 version. Like, yes, it was on, but that's not what Nintendo consoles are known for.
Kind of forgot it was on that console at all.
Do what?
Kind of forgot Resident Evil 2 was on the N64.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a shame.
So yeah, I mean, we didn't get very many games. I would say there are probably a good 25 or 30 games that are pretty great on it, but that's about it.
Out of what, like 200?
About
I have a hundo.
Which, like, yeah, for the US, I think we found it earlier, it's like 100 games.
Yep.
Is it?
Yeah, it's a really small fucking library. And even, like, what you did want wasn't good.
Yeah.
Speaking of,
Star Fox Zero.
I think what a colossal fuck up.
I think that speaks to a couple of different things. Number one, the Wii U gamepad, like the way that they were kind of being pushed into it was like, hey, make this thing worth a shit. Find games that make the Wii U gamepad special. And I think that the majority of the time, it wasn't necessary. I mean, there were cool things like using your inventory in Zelda games through your bottom screen, but they weren't necessary. Obviously, Star Fox Zero is a great example of how not to do it. Like, it's a game that requires you use both screens at the exact same time.
Yeah, which is it didn't work that well for one, and for two, like, it was not the fun way to play.
Yeah.
It was a new and non-exciting way to play. But not the fun way to do it.
Even like there was a Kirby game. I can't remember. I think it was called Rainbow Curse. There was Canvas Curse and Rainbow's Curse. One of them was on DS and the other one was on Wii U. But you're like made out of clay, and the game was absolutely beautiful. But you had to play it on the tablet because you're like you're drawing lines and stuff like that. Yeah. And a game that looks insanely beautiful on your television, where you don't even look at your television. You look at your tablet to like draw the lines. You could like probably do both, but it would be a little more complicated. So
I couldn't do it.
Yeah. I think I would definitely be remiss to go without saying that like the name Wii U was a massive mistake. I
and most of their branding too.
Yes.
But yeah,
I specifically recall when the Wii U was announced at E3. I was at work at the time and we had the conferences up on all the TVs. And I worked at a video game call center at the time. And we had the conferences up on the TVs, and they announced the Wii U. And it was basically the way they announced it was they showed the tablet off, and they called it Wii U. And right around the time, there was that game that had come out from Ubisoft that was called like U-Draw.
Oh, yeah.
So I was like, oh, okay, this is Nintendo's equivalent of like a drawing tablet, but it's for the Wii. And then like 3 to 5 minutes later, I'm looking online, and it's like Nintendo announces a new console. And I'm like, wait, they announced a new console? So me being a hardcore Nintendo fan, watching the press event, did not know that Nintendo had just announced a new console after I was just shown the new console. So it came from the name. It also came from the delivery of the way that they provided the information. But it was a confusing messaging, like right out of the gate. And most people, like your casual audience that's familiar with the Wii, is not familiar with the Wii U. There are people to this day that if you say that Wii U is a separate console from the Wii, they wouldn't have known that.
Yeah, it's like, okay, so you have PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3, and it's like, all right, so
I understand what's happening with that.
Yeah, it's 1 and 2. I'm familiar with the subject of numbers, and then it's like, okay, we got to go with something that says 2, but we don't want to say 2. So about the letter U. Yeah. It's just like, what the fuck were you thinking?
Yeah. Well, and a lot of it. So when they talked about Wii, and they talked about how they came about the name Wii, they said that Wii has like a universal, no matter what language it's in, it's a positive word. So like in America, Wii is about groups. But no, you're thinking about what WII is in Wii.
No, I know.
But like if you think about when you've never heard the word before, when you hear the word Wii, like we could be like a lot of us, or in like France or French, it means like yes. So it's like there's a positive connotation to the word we. Or like,
what if it's like, do you have AIDS? Yes.
We.
That's not positive.
We.
Did he touch you? We. I mean, they really didn't think this through, I don't think.
Clearly not.
And you know what? There's a lot of languages out there. There's probably some like weird subset of like Egyptian language where like we means like genocide.
Probably. I mean, it's definitely been Nintendo's genocide. So.
of their fan base? Yeah, they're trying to.
Maybe not their fan. Well, yeah, probably a lot of their. I don't know. I think the majority of their fan base kind of lost them at the Wii itself.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this really kind of hit it home, though.
Yeah.
There were things that were good. We went over them, but like
for sure.
God, what a miserable console cycle.
Yeah.
This one has been.
They continued a lot of their bad trends from the Wii, which is like not doing as much as they should have with Virtual Console. It's still one of those like once a week we'll get a trickle of games that you may or may not care about. Even the Wii had a significantly larger, more robust Virtual Console.
Yeah, and the
library.
fact that they didn't merge them.
Yeah. Like you should have been able to log into your Wii U and just download all your Wii games. You could if you went through the Wii menu and downloaded them.
Yeah.
And then a lot of those games got discounts. So if you bought the Wii version and you had your same Nintendo Network ID or whatever that thing was called, your friend code, whatever it's called, on the Wii version, you'd get like a $3 discount.
For the Wii U version?
Yeah, for the Wii
Wait,
version. So like Mario Brothers, if you paid $5 for it, you'd only have to pay $2 for it.
So what you're telling me is that like we know that you purchased this already.
Yeah.
But you're going to buy it again?
Yeah.
See, because
we're about to probably deal with the same thing.
That's real fucked.
Yeah.
Because I thought the reason why you had to rebuy everything was because it's like, okay, we don't have a way for the consoles to link and to know and to track your purchases. That's what I thought the reason. Not, we know that you already bought it once, but hey, suck our balls, buy it again.
Yeah, buy the Wii U version. Because you can play on the tablet now, or your television. Whatever they use to market it. So yeah, they didn't, not only did we not get enough games, but we didn't get enough Virtual Console games. We got a lot of shovelware, but that wasn't necessarily different from the Wii U. I mean, I'm sorry, the Wii. So, yeah.
What about the branding of the games? New.
I mean, I don't know if that's a Wii U issue. I think that's more of a
Nintendo the time period.
Didn't they do that on the Wii also?
And they did it on the 3DS.
Oh, yeah, I think it's new Super Mario Brothers on the Wii.
So I mean, you think about the 3D or the DS, we got new Super Mario Brothers, and then for the 3DS, there was a new new Nintendo 3DS and a new Nintendo 3DS XL. Like their naming conventions, that's been an issue for a long time. Like this is a bad era for Nintendo. Granted, like I actually really like the Wii U. I think I'm going to think fondly back on it. There were a lot of things that I really enjoyed about it, but not in the same vein that I would with something like a Dreamcast.
Right. I mean, the game selections was probably the worst.
It was limited
because it's like, okay, you know, on all the other ones you had big releases of like Zelda and Mario. Yeah. This one you didn't.
We got two Zelda games, and they were remakes of GameCube / Wii.
But in the Mario games, like rinky-dink ones, like they were fun, but they weren't like the big, expansive Mario's like 64 or Galaxy or whatever they're used to. Yeah. None of that. Yeah. We just got a bunch of little ones that were like, oh, here's a semi-side scroller one.
For sure. Luckily, the Switch is fixing that, but
yeah.
The Switch is fixing that in its first like 8 months on the market, which is cool.
So yeah, we got that. We got no new Zelda.
Yeah.
We got, well, I mean, I guess we do now. It'll be cross-platform, but that doesn't really count.
It's kind of, if you count Twilight Princess as a GameCube game or as a Wii game. It is both, but which one, when you think about it, do you think of it as?
Yeah,
I think of it as a Wii game.
Yeah, I think we.
But any case, no Metroid. And the Star Fox we got. Well.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Out of 10, I give Star Fox a 0. Get it?
I'd about give it the same. I would
Star Fox
never
0?
play that again.
I gave it a 7, by the way.
When
we did give it a score, I gave it a 7.
I think I gave it like a 4.
I had some fun with it. Sorry,
I didn't even beat it. I was like, I can't play this garbage.
We played through the entirety of it on stream co-op on launch day.
It was miserable.
It's a
it was
mistake.
pretty miserable.
I mean, it was fun playing.
It had its
cooperatively,
moments.
but
Yeah. I wouldn't
playing
say
solo. There's no way.
it would have been so much more fun to play cooperatively if we each had our own ships.
Yeah.
You're not
Instead
getting
of
your
one
own
of us
ships?
controlling one piece. No. One person controls like the guns and one person controls the ship. It's awful.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it was shitty.
Yeah. Super mediocre. Anything else that you want to talk about with the Wii U going wrong?
I feel like you guys kind of covered it all.
Yeah, I think I'm good.
Cool.
All right. Moving on.
Our top 10 Wii U games. So what we did here is we basically listed out like each of our personal favorite Wii U games. We put them all in a big list. We narrowed the list down to 10, and then we each scored. We each basically made our own personal like 5 to 6 games. And then whatever game we liked the most, we gave the highest amount of points, and so on, individually. Then we added all the points together. So like, let's say Star Fox Zero, you gave it your third highest, I gave it my highest, and you gave it your lowest. This is an example. Obviously, Star Fox Zero is not even on this list. But we add all those points together, and then we rank them based on how many points they received. So it's similar to how we did our Game of the Year awards last year.
Yeah.
Even if something was my personal Game of the Year last year was Last Guardian. Your personal Game of the Year last year was Doom. What was yours?
Good question.
I mean,
I'm not quite sure what I ranked my number one.
And
All right.
Uncharted 4 ended up getting our Game of the Year
Yeah.
because it ranked high enough on everybody's list that it got a lot of points. So it's similar to how we pulled this off as well. So
Very
without
true.
further ado,
All right. Number 10. Old Bayonetta 2.
Yep.
Saved from Oblivion.
Yep.
take it away.
I mean, I've always been a huge Devil May Cry fan. Obviously, Bayonetta kind of picks up a lot of pieces from it and makes it its own kind of not genre, but its own game series. And, I mean, Nintendo revived it, like I kind of touched on earlier. It's just a hell of a lot of fun to play. Not a whole lot of replayability. Like, I had no want to beat it a second time on, like, a higher difficulty. Well, you know, the story is fun, just like these kind of games should be.
Yeah.
Usually, like, the hack and slash games that are super serious, I just kind of lose interest in. Like God of War.
Yeah.
That takes a little bit more of a serious tone. But I'm glad Nintendo revived this project.
Yeah, I never played through either of the Bayonetta games, but I always heard they were really good. So maybe one day I'll go back and play them. I know I think it was like the highest reviewed game of the year that it came out. Like it had the highest Metacritic. So,
not to mention the actual game released with versions of both. Yeah, which is pretty awesome.
Like a port of 1 to the Wii. Yeah, it's pretty neat.
It's pretty easy
It just
to play
came in the
one.
box. You buy it and you get both of them.
Yep.
And they did a, you were talking about earlier, the Nintendo touches they added, where you can get like a Princess Peach and a Samus costume and all that.
Yeah, it does affect the gameplay a little bit. Like, I know you guys haven't played the game, but like when you do some of the combos, like a giant fist will pop out. So you play Peach, it's like a giant Bowser fist comes out and punches someone.
That's pretty
Gotta
neat.
get fisted, bro.
Yeah.
You know?
It definitely,
yeah.
Nintendo lent them a lot of their IP stuff with it, because it's like Samus, Link,
Yeah.
Peach and Daisy.
That's the most Samus we've gotten in a while.
Right?
Yep.
Sad.
Except for old Federation Force, which you and I still need to play through.
There's
One
no
day.
Samus in that, though.
I say, I don't think
No,
Samus is
Samus is
in
in
that.
it. Samus is in it.
Really?
You don't play as Samus, but Samus is in it.
Oh. All right. Number 9.
Number 9.
Old Pikmin 3.
I'm a big fan of the Pikmin games, but I only got about 10 hours into this one. I wasn't able to finish it.
I beat the shit out of it. I'm pretty sure I'd beat it within a week of it coming out.
Damn. You play as old Captain Olimar?
No, he doesn't play as Olimar in this one. He does make an appearance. But you play as 3 different captains that make their way to Earth or whatever they call it inside the game.
Yeah, and they're all. If you guys have never played Pikmin before, they're Nintendo's take on a real-time strategy game. I mean, I guess that's a way to put it. Like,
Yeah.
there's resource management and there's a timer You have until the, like a day-night cycle you have from the beginning of the day to the end of the day to make as much progress and to collect as many items as possible.
And you have units that you command.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Unlike Pikmin 1, there's no time limit in this one, kind of like how Pikmin 2 did it.
Oh, okay.
Obviously, there's 3 people, so you're in 3 different spots at a time with different heroes.
I thought there was a time limit.
In Pikmin
Like
3?
you had a day. Oh, you mean an overall time limit?
Oh, yeah, like an overall time limit.
Gotcha.
Because in Pikmin 1, you had like 10 days.
It still has the day-night cycle. Though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where you have to do as much as you possibly can within a day.
Final boss is probably the hardest final boss in a Pikmin game ever.
Cool.
That guy is such a pain in the ass.
I like the idea of, playing as different captains. And they were all, what was cool is they were all displaced in different areas of the world. And their goal was to try to like get together, to try to find each other. So you're kind of like working through the world together, and they're each have their own armies of Pikmin. And they added a couple of different Pikmin types in this one as well.
Yeah, it's like the pink flying one and the rock, I think.
Yeah,
no, rock is 2. Maybe not. No, it was purple was the 1 and 2. It's rock in 3.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Supposedly they're working on 4, so
yeah,
and
no.
that 3DS one that's coming as well.
Yeah, so it's the 3DS one. It's gonna be like a 2D side scroller. Should be
Yeah.
interesting to see how that gets implemented.
For sure.
You think it's pretty right for 2D side scroller? Yeah, I'll be taking a look at that.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
I didn't know if you were joking or not. I'm like,
No, I think it can definitely work.
It looks interesting. I mean, it could be good.
Yeah,
see.
let's go wait and find out.
I'll wait on reviews.
Yeah.
We'll see. All right, number 8.
Yay!
A game I did not
You
put on my
guys
list.
were both so
Told
mad
you.
about this making our
Should
list.
have got a PNG with Dick and put it in his mouth.
It looks like he's just so happy to gobble it too.
I mean, he's going to mine them.
He's doing something.
He's going to the Dick mines.
So Captain Toad was originally introduced in Super Mario 3D World. You kind of travel in this little map and you select all the levels that you go to. But there were extra levels that are Captain Toad levels that where you have to try to collect gems.
There's like one
they
in
did
each world.
Yeah, it got its own little spin-off game, Captain Toad's Treasure Tracker, where it's the same sort of thing, but you're trying to rescue. Like it's based on books. It's pretty cool. It's like 3 different books, and at first you're trying to like rescue the female toad or toadette.
Yeah, it's so that.
Yeah. I don't know. We won't get into the whole toadette thing because supposedly they're gender neutral. They don't have genders, but there's a toad and a toadette.
So which bathroom do they use?
I don't think they use
In the Mushroom Kingdom.
I don't think there are.
Do
Just poop on the floor.
they eat?
I mean, I don't think so.
I mean, apart from dicks, of course, we've been over that.
Or he's gonna go mine them.
Really charming. Visually, we talked about that the Wii U had the ability to do some like beautiful games, and I think Captain Toad was a really great example. You had the ability to. There were 2 different camera options where you could zoom really close into Toad, or you could zoom into the level itself, because all the levels were like little. What are those called?
Like squares.
They were
like
squares,
Rubik's
but I'm trying to
cubes.
think of the word to describe.
Tetrahedron.
No, not tetrahedron.
RuneScape.
Sure. We'll just call it that. Basically, you just have to find, it's just like a whole world that just spins around. It's like a little scale version of a level. And you can spin it around any direction you want to kind of use that as your camera. So the camera could focus on Captain Toad, or the camera could focus on on the outside, seeing the whole world. Or the whole level. But I always try to zoom in and have the camera on Captain Toad, because the game looks so beautiful zoomed in. Like visually, one of the prettier Wii U games. And it's like a puzzle platformer. It's also one of those really great games to play, like with a significant other, taking turns.
Yeah.
My wife really got into it. There was one time where I was playing it and I was like, I gotta go to work. When I came back, she was like 20 levels further in the game. She'd just been playing it. That's always a good sign of like a game that, I wouldn't consider my wife a gamer, but every once in a while she finds something she really gets into. And Captain Toad was a great example of that. So, and I really like the character of Captain Toad. I like the light. I like his style.
I hate his style.
I have a little Captain Toad plush sitting on my desk. So, yeah.
Yeah,
Nice.
and the game's like super easy to pick up.
For
There's
sure.
like each stage is probably like 10 minutes tops.
Yeah.
It's like there's frequent breaks, so if you're a casual gamer.
Yeah. After
If you're
you,
fucking
there
casual.
are secondary missions in every level as well.
Yep.
And then there's even like amiibo related things where if you scan the Captain Toad or the Toad amiibo into the game, then there are extra little Toad stickers that you have to find in every level. So it like adds an additional layer of gameplay to every level. Yep.
Not great gameplay, but still gameplay.
I mean, I think it's great.
Well, like the
gameplay.
sticker part. I mean, the game itself is fun.
I mean, nobody likes stickers. You remember Sticker Star?
Sticker Star was not a good game, no.
No. Now I was giving you shit, but I bet this game's...
It is, yeah.
I'll probably pick it up and play it one day. All right.
Hopefully it comes to the Switch.
We good?
I'm good. Let's move on.
Number 7. Oh, man, what is this?
So once again, this game I totally put on there. I don't think either one of y'all voted. I think you might put it on the list as well.
It wasn't on my list. I've never played through it either.
Yeah, it's not like on your top 6 list or whatever.
But it voted high. It was something that you gave high enough on your list that it made the top 10.
Yeah.
Just based solely on you. So,
for those of you that have not played Persona, this is essentially like a JRPG where each of the characters is kind of like a up and coming idol in the world.
What game is it?
Oh, this is Tokyo Mirage Sessions Sharp FE.
There you go.
I thought it was a hashtag FE.
I wish it was hashtag FE. So each of the characters kind of have like a Fire Emblem counterpart as like their persona, which is like something they use to combat with.
Yeah.
The story is really fun. A lot of the characters are actually pretty well developed. Like each of them kind of have their own unique personality.
So what's the American Idol thing that they have going on?
Well, like,
it's like a concert, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not hating. I'm
no.
genuinely curious. What is that process?
So like idols in Japan are essentially kind of like the stars, is what you call them. Okay. Like what you see like on the walk, like in the Hollywood star thing.
Yeah.
So like, there's different kinds of idols. There's like the singing idol. There's like the fashionistas and crap like that. It's like each of these characters kind of like fit in a different role in that universe.
Okay.
And they all work at like this like idol agency.
And it's like music videos or something? Or the battles are like music videos?
Oh, the battles are actually probably one of my favorite parts of the game. They're like beautifully made.
And that's when you play as the Fire Emblem characters, right?
Yeah.
Because that's their mirages.
Yeah, you can kind of see like the guy in the middle there wearing like the Marth armor.
Yeah.
And like that also ties into the story later on.
What I always thought was interesting was it's Tokyo Mirage Sessions, but the initials backwards are MST, or SMT, right?
Oh yeah, Mega
Shin Megami Tensei.
Yeah.
Which is like what the Persona games are, that series. And then Sharp FE is Fire Emblem.
Yeah.
So,
well, I got the FE part. I never actually looked at the abbreviation backwards. Yeah, that's why this kind of genre is called, is Megami Sensei, whatever.
Megami Tensei.
Wait, that's a genre of games?
That's a series.
That's like the series, but then like that had spin-offs of Persona, Tokyo Mirage
the Persona games are spin-offs of Shin Megami Tensei.
Yeah.
And this was before it was called Tokyo Mirage Sessions. It was called Fire Emblem Cross Shin Megami Tensei.
Yep. It's a lot of fun if you like JRPGs. It's probably the only good one on the Wii U.
Yeah.
Not a lot of JRPGs on there. At least in America. Maybe in Japan there's a bit more.
A whole lot of loving.
Don't recommend playing it. It's probably about 50 to 60 hours long.
Yeah.
Characters, like I said, really well developed. There's lots of side stories you'll want to make sure you do.
Cool.
Don't have a lot to say about it.
All right. That is number 7. Number 6.
Spladoosh. This game deserves to be higher on the list, but it's okay. I'm glad it made it on the list, period.
Yeah.
I mentioned earlier, this is a new IP for Nintendo. And one of the things, a lot of times when I talked about it, what Nintendo is really good at is taking a genre and like finding what's really fun about that genre and then making that into a game. So they take a racing game and turn it into Mario Kart. And then they take a fighting game and turn it into Smash Brothers. Like, they find a really fun way. They take a real-time strategy, make Pikmin out of it. They make it, like, fun and, like, family-friendly and, like, easy to understand. And Splatoon is their attempt at an online third-person shooter.
Which is awesome.
Yeah, really cool. It's obviously, like, probably, at least online shooters are one of, if not the most popular gaming genre in the world. Yeah. So for Nintendo to, like, take a stab at it, and do it as well as they did it is extremely impressive. Obviously, there were a couple of limitations. I think the campaign could have used a little bit more time and energy.
Yeah.
The lack of voice chat built into the Wii U or the version of the game. The way that a lot of it was really when the game launched, there were very limited maps, very limited game modes, and even the primary game mode, which is the
Turf War, I think is what it's called.
Turf War, yes, thank you. Where the goal is to cover as much of the map as possible in your particular color ink. So, like, as an example, these guys here, obviously the ink that they would shoot would be like a lime green color. And then the opposing team, they all look the same, but instead of lime green, it would be like blue or pink or orange or something.
Contrasting.
Like, do I?
Like, it's always like a contrasting color.
Yeah, it's a contrasting color. So, and the goal, like I said, is to cover as much of the map as humanly possible. Talking about good use of the gamepad, I actually really liked motion controls in this game. When I first started playing it, I didn't use motion controls. And then I was like, I'm going to try it. You know, people say that you're better at it with motion controls. So, it's basically just like little tilting that you can use to aim. It just like has the gyro sensor.
It's like fine tuning your aim.
Yeah, exactly. For, you know, being able to like splat other characters. One of the things that I really liked that I'm kind of interested to see how they do in the Switch version is on the tablet, it would always show the map and how much of the map is covered. So in the Switch version, you're not going to always be able to just like look down and see like where to make progress or how progress is coming. Also in the Wii U version, if you look down on the map and then tap a particular part of the map, you would go into your squid form and then do like a jump dive to that particular part of the map.
Yeah, it's like fast travel.
Yeah, it's like a fast travel. Or like, let's say it's 4-on-4. So let's say, 3 of you guys are in one particular area and they're just getting like nerfed. Everybody's getting destroyed. You can like spawn in and like go over to that area to help them out. You can immediately just do like a quick jump to that area. So I really like that.
One thing I really liked that, I forget who like the developer was. So I don't think Nintendo made it.
No, it is. It's a Nintendo developer.
So it's in-house?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
One thing...
It's a new team. It's basically like a lot of the new talent from Nintendo teams. They like took some of the people from the Mario Kart team and some of the people from the Smash team. Like took little different pieces of different teams, but it was all the young guys. So like the guy who was the head guy on it, it was his first game to be like the head guy on it. So it was a bunch of different, I guess kind of the B or C teams from Nintendo working together on something. And obviously it worked out for it as we're getting Splatoon 2 in a few months.
One thing I love about it though is that unlike most first-person shooters these days, we got free constant DLC.
Yeah.
Which no season really cool. Pass, no anything. It was just, here's free content, enjoy.
Here's, I talked about how it didn't launch with very many maps, but they doubled the map size, they doubled the game type size, they added ranked matches, they increased the level cap like constantly. Yep. They did Splatfests, which was, I think, is a really interesting idea, where when you go in, you choose a side, and it would be like cats versus dogs. So when the game started, you choose if you were Team Cat or Team Dog, and you played for that team the entire weekend. And then at the end, it would say like which team was the most popular, so which team people chose the most. And then they also had which team like won the most or covered the most in turf war throughout the majority of games. I thought that was a really interesting concept, and that's something that they said will come back with Splatoon 2.
Yep, and the last one was which squid waifu was your favorite? This is like Mary or Callie or something.
Yeah,
I mean it's a hard question because okay, look at their hair. Right? It's actually like squid tentacles.
Yeah.
So imagine their pubes. Could you imagine like running it up and it just being fleshy and like all like a bunch of like little ones like hitting your hands?
It's
like a bunch of suction cups.
I don't know if I want either one of those waifu like that.
Okay.
That'd be gross. Wow, everything could they get your dick sucked a whole different way though.
Oh.
All them suction cups, you know what I mean, baby? Yeah, well, I don't know. So flip a coin.
You're in a right mood tonight.
Just flip a coin. I'll take one.
All right. That's cool. Anything else?
I got nothing.
It was fun.
Yeah.
I don't know. It didn't capture me for the long term, but for the short term. All right. So that is number 6. Moving on to number 5.
Super Mario Maker. Do you want to talk about this? Because I think you spent a lot of time with this.
Yeah, I spent a decent amount of time with it. It's like pound for pound, it's the best value of a game you're gonna get on the Wii U, if you like Mario games at all. Because if you do, it's essentially just infinite Mario games over and over and over and over again, all different all the time, different types, different gimmicks, all sorts of just extremely wide array of levels that are very clever, and some not, but like the one I made, which was really hard, but just not fun, which was... Sometimes it's the balance you gotta find.
So to talk about what you're talking about with all the different like gimmicks and ideas, the game has... So obviously it's Mario Maker. The goal is to make Mario levels. But there are 4 different themes, I guess, is a good way to describe it, that you build the levels around. So it has the original Super Mario Brothers. It has Super Mario Brothers 3. It has Super Mario World. and it has the new Super Mario Brothers series, which started with the DS and then the Wii and then the Wii U. All got versions in that. But they all have like slightly different, like fine-tuned controls. They all control slightly differently. The jumps work a little bit differently. Like for example, you could get the Tanuki suit in the Mario 3 levels, but in the Mario World levels, you could get the cape. And in the New Super Mario Brothers levels, you could do wall jumps. Yeah. So, and all of that stuff carried over in whatever level design you picked. So you could build a level in like the Mario 1 style and then put it in the Mario and then change the style on the fly. You could do it so quickly just with a tap of a button, change it to the Mario World style, and it completely changes the background and the pixel, like
all the assets.
Yeah. Every good way to put it. All the assets of the game completely shift, but the way that Mario controls completely shifts as well. I always thought that was a really interesting approach. And what was cool is how they added stuff to games that didn't have it. So for example, like the Boo houses or like the horror stuff, that stuff didn't exist in the original Super Mario Brothers, but they still wanted you to have the ability to create that stuff. So they made all new assets for like horror related stuff for the original Mario Brothers, which looks really, really cool. And yeah, so
plus all the different sprites you can play as.
Yeah, that was
which
cool.
there are like 200 different characters.
They don't metal.
Yeah, they don't have any necessarily different move sets or anything.
Yeah.
But just visually, I mean, if you want to play as little Donkey Kong, you can. You can play as Baby Metal for some reason.
Yeah.
Just anything. There's some really like weird ones.
Yeah.
I don't understand.
One of the first levels I ever made, and it was alright, was a level called Chainsaw 8, and it was a level that was basically primarily saws, but you use the Donkey Kong skin, like as an ape, to be able to traverse through the level. So.
Yeah. And plus, like, can you play as a car?
Oh yeah, you can play.
Do the Mario
you can
Kart.
think of it. You can play as it. It controls exactly like how Mario controls, but yeah, there's some ridiculous ones.
A couple of things that I liked about it and didn't like about it. Obviously, the community surrounding the game is huge, especially things like Awesome Games Done Quick when they do speed runs. So they have some of the best Mario players ever playing levels that they've never played before. That stuff is extremely fun to watch, when they have like the competing teams. So there's new interesting ways to play things, new and exciting way.
Yeah. All right, Shiguro.
Where you can play games that levels within a Mario game that you've never played. And there are, pro level designers and pro level players who are playing some of the most insane levels. They also have like the Rube Goldberg machines where it's like you just stand there and then the level just automatically does things to progress you through that I think are really neat. They do the music levels where as you progress, events that happen cause music to be able to play based on how the items and assets in the game react. So I thought that was done really well. I think one of the biggest weaknesses or opportunities that the game had was how you find levels. There were thousands and thousands and thousands of levels, and being able to find like the type of level that you wanted to play at the right time was really hard. It usually required you to like go to YouTube and just like look stuff up.
Top 10 Mario Maker levels?
Yeah, and just like do your own research. They didn't do a great job of like aggregating and highlighting the really, really good levels. There was no good way to like order them or designate them, or there wasn't any type of I guess just like search fields or anything like that that would allow you to be able to find really good levels.
I know eventually they put it on the website.
Yeah.
Did that not do any of it?
No, it didn't.
Oh god, that's terrible.
So, talking about free updates, the game had a lot of free updates as well, where they added checkpoints and they added keys to where you could like open, where you'd have to find a key to be able to open a door to be able to progress. I really liked that.
It's like Doom. You gotta get the red key, then you get the red door.
Yeah. There was cool stuff where you could like, talk about the different sprites you could become. One of them where you could become a Goomba. And there's one part where you become a Goomba and then you go through a pipe, like one level that somebody made. And then when you come out of that pipe, it's a room where Goombas are coming out from everywhere. So you don't know which Goomba you are. There's like hundreds of them coming out at the same time. And it's just this giant pit full of Goombas. And you're one of those Goombas and you don't know which one. I thought that was cool. A lot of really interesting ideas.
Yeah, infinite replayability, at least for now, while the servers are up.
Yeah.
And like I said, pound for pound, like, best game, like as far as just value wise,
Yeah.
on the Wii U.
And speaking of, the gamepad and how it wasn't used properly, this is hands down the best use of the gamepad.
Oh yeah.
I can't imagine this game existing without the ability to use a touchscreen. I mean, it probably could, but it would be garbage. It'd be like playing Mario Paint. It would take 10 times as long.
Yep, very true. Be 10 times less options and levels.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Number 5.
that's number 5. Number 4 goes to
New Super Mario Bros. U / New Super Luigi. So I never finished New Super Luigi U. New Super Mario Bros. U was a launch title. I think as far as the New Super Mario Bros. Series goes, which counts the one for the DS, the one for the 3DS, the one for the Wii, and the one for the Wii U, I think this is the best one.
Oh yeah.
You got the world map that looked similar to like Mario World or
Mario 3.
Or Mario 3. You got a lot of neat little power-ups like the flying squirrel suit. Yeah. It was one of the... It was hard, but it had like a good ramp in difficulty. That's something, just going back to Mario Maker for a second. You don't realize how difficult it is to design levels until you play Mario Maker. So it's very impressive, especially when you think about something like New Super Mario Bros. U. The difficulty ramp was like like a slow incline, where the second level was a little harder than the first, the third was a little harder, and it progressively went in that direction. So their ability to be able to design a game like that is super, super impressive. And I feel like the incline within this game was done really well.
Yeah.
The addition of like Nabbit and stuff like that was a lot of fun.
I mean, even the new Luigi U also still had that ramp up.
Yeah.
Ramped up a little bit sooner because we only had like 100 seconds per stage.
Yeah, 100 seconds. Yeah.
It's definitely
a little shorter.
It was a great add-on to the game.
Yeah. It's a cool idea too, just being like, hey, we're going to make DLC for this game, but we're basically just going to take the original map and we're going to put some twists on it.
Yeah.
We're going to redesign the levels that we already have. We're going to make them shorter. We're going to decrease the amount of time that it takes you to get through them. So really cool idea.
I'm not sure if they marketed it as harder, but it's definitely the harder of the two.
Yeah, for sure. And I think the best launch title of the ones we got.
Yeah. I have like nothing bad to say about this game. This is an extremely solid title.
Yeah. And it was something that made all 3 of our lists. So
yeah.
That speaks pretty highly of it. Anything else?
No, not for me.
I got nothing.
You guys did a pretty good job.
This is a great game.
It's good.
You're welcome.
This is a great game.
All right, number 3 goes to... Oh, geez. That's Smash Bros.
Smash 4.
To me, this is one of the weaker Smash games. I mean,
it's hard to top Melee, but...
It is. It's hard to top Melee. I really like some of the characters that they added. I think it was a really great idea to add Mega Man. I like that they added like Bayonetta and Cloud and Korra and stuff like that for DLC. Even getting Pac-Man and Sonic in there was pretty interesting.
Yeah. Well, Sonic was in Wii.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm kind of whatever about outside of that, so.
Yeah. Do you have anything?
Well, I mean, you were the big...
I mean, I can rant about it.
Yeah, this
I
was
want
your
to give
number
you a
one.
chance to talk.
No, I enjoyed it. I mean, it didn't... Once again, it was kind of like Splatoon. Like, I like it. Did not hold me for the long term, though.
Yeah.
I was the same way as Splatoon, but this game actually held me for a very long time. I think it was like my 22nd or 23rd birthday. One of my birthday parties was literally just like 8 guys sitting around, had them all hooked up to a TV, playing on like the biggest maps, hanging out with friends, drinking. It's a really great game to like bring people together. The competitive scene's also really good. At least here in Austin, it is. I even got like a GameCube little sticker made just for my controller, just to bring to Smash events.
Yeah.
This is like a really hype game to watch and play.
For sure.
A lot of the characters have been extremely balanced compared to Melee. Because Melee is very evident that there are tiers. I mean, it's the same thing with Smash 4, but there's a lot less bleeding on them.
Yeah.
Like, the worst characters could still, if you're good at it. A lot of the characters they introduce are amazing. Like, Bowser Jr., Baby Bowser, I forget what he's called in the game. Kind of plays like Wario.
Yeah.
I wish there's less Fire Emblem characters.
Yeah, there are a lot of Fire characters in this game.
I think there's 5,
Something
and they
like
all
that.
play similarly.
Yeah.
I honestly like Ike's the hard hitter, Marth's a little bit faster. Definitely could have done with less of them.
Yeah.
Who's the one with the book?
Roy?
No,
Robin?
not Robin. Robin can fuck off. That's what
Harry
I
Potter.
say. Yeah, Harry Potter can fuck off out of my Smash. That's what I say. But yeah. Yeah, I do wish, like Fire Emblem is not super huge over here like it is in Japan. It's big over here, but not like it is over in Japan.
Yeah.
And it feels like we're kind of not really reaping the benefits of that.
Yeah.
With having the roster focused so heavily on so many fucking Fire Emblem characters.
Fire Emblem's a lot bigger here in the States than it used to be.
Yeah, since
they've been-
Awakening.
Yeah.
Or since Smash.
Awakening was supposed to be their, like, the last Fire Emblem game ever. But it performed so well that they're like, no, we'll keep it going. And now we're getting, like, 5 new Fire Emblem games over the next 2 years.
And we got a mobile one.
Yeah. Like, there was a Fire Emblem Direct 2 weeks ago that was focused on, like, 4 or 5 brand new Fire Emblem. So.
And there's only one
Franchise
that's
is going
actually
nowhere.
Fire Emblem.
Do
Well,
I?
no, there's only 2 that are actually Fire Emblem. Then, like, there's Fire Emblem Heroes on the phone. Anyway.
Next Smash is going to be all Fire Emblem characters. And Mario.
And Mario. Yeah.
But yeah.
Anything else on Smash? There's some things I want to say about Smash, but I'm going to wait till the next topic.
Okay.
Let's wait till the next topic.
Alright, then number 2.
Mario Kart 8. Ba-da-da-da-da-da. This is my favorite Mario Kart game.
Yep.
Outside of what I consider to be the most beautiful Wii U game, the amount of tracks in the game, in addition to the fact that we got
Did you say
DLC
most beautiful
tracks.
Wii U game?
Yeah.
Oh, Victoria just murdered our camera.
Uh-oh. We'll be right back, visually speaking. It's flashing. It's blanking.
Just keep talking, guys.
They can't see our face. I guess it's just an audio podcast.
I mean, I could just edit this part out and wait.
Yeah.
No, because editing takes too much work.
And I'm not going to be...
Alright, so let's talk about Mario Kart 8.
So the largest amount of tracks, if you include the DLC tracks, easily the most beautiful Mario Kart game. And then we got very cool things like the Crazy 8, which was like 8...
The 8 item weapon
8
thing.
items at once, which I think that was in 7 as well, the 3DS version.
Yeah.
But like getting that power was super, super insane. It was one of those that, they also added 200cc, which I thought was really cool, like an extremely fast,
Yeah, they added some,
insane
like,
version.
there's like a free update patch for it, which is pretty neat.
Yep. So,
They also gave us, like you said, DLC tracks, but also gave us DLC characters. You can play as Link,
yeah.
Animal Crossing characters. Yeah.
Hey, we're back!
Just like extra stuff they gave to us. I mean, those cost money, just like the Smash 4 DLC.
Yeah.
I agree that it's probably the prettiest one. I mean, it is the newest one, so it makes sense for it to be prettiest. I think it's the funnest one, though.
Yeah. My only issue with this game, like legitimately only issue with it, was that there was no battle mode, and that's being corrected for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe on Switch.
There's a battle mode.
Yeah.
It's just terrible.
I wouldn't call it a battle. It's like jousting. You're just like going circles in a track and like trying to take. Yeah.
Yeah, it could have been
It's
done a
not
lot
fun.
nicer.
Yeah.
There's no road rash.
I easily put more time into this Mario Kart than any other Mario Kart game.
Yeah.
It like revitalized my love of the Mario Kart series. So.
And when the wife's little sisters will come over, and I can literally just give them the controller. They'll play for like 6 hours.
Yeah.
So it's great. The learning curve is pretty low too. Like
For
you
sure.
can play on any controller.
Yeah. Talking about one of the things that we liked about the Wii U that you mentioned, DKP, was the controller options. And Mario Kart 8 was a great example. Like you can use the Pro controller, or you can use a Wiimote turned sideways, or you could use a Wiimote and nunchuck combination, or you could use the Wii U gamepad. Like it had all those options available. So
Yep, I think the gamepad is probably the best controller option, but that's just me.
I like the Pro controller.
I just hate the Pro controller so much.
Yeah. The Wii U gamepad, like talking about worthless features for the gamepad, the Wii U version had the ability to give you the map. It showed what order everybody was in, or a horn.
Yeah.
Like you press
The
the
whole
touch screen
screen.
and it's just like a horn.
Making good use, huh?
Right?
Thanks, Nintendo.
Yeah, they, added the gravity things as well. where you went upside down, which that could have been done way more poorly. It's one of those things that the camera follows you, so if you're turning around a track, you can't really tell that you're upside down unless you look at the environment around you. So it was handled in a way that, worked well for it.
Yeah, and it's also a different physics engine. Not physics engine while you're upside down, but it plays differently.
Yeah.
Like when you're upside down or gravity affected, you won't like run into people to get a speed boost.
Yeah.
While you're on ground, that's a terrible idea.
Yeah. It'll slow you down when you're not not in the gravitational areas. So, yeah, I enjoyed it thoroughly. I would like me personally, we ranked our number ones. This is my number one.
It's definitely up there for me.
I have no issue double dipping for the Switch version.
I'm totally gonna double dip.
All right.
Fair enough. Well, number one.
We've made it.
The most beautiful game on the Wii U. Without a doubt. Maybe you're just misremembering.
Oh, this game's
but
gorgeous.
Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, baby. Go on.
No, please. This is your opportunity to sing the praises.
I ranted long enough.
So, outside of the original trilogy, which isn't saying too much, by far the best Donkey Kong Country. In fact, it almost is better than some of the original trilogy.
I think it is better than 2 of the 3 original trilogy.
What about?
It's my second favorite Donkey Kong Country.
What about Jungle Beats?
That's not in the echelon of good Donkey Kong games.
That's great. We're just talking about good Donkey Kong Country games.
It's right behind Donkey Konga as the second best Donkey Kong game of all time.
I mean, Returns 1 was good.
Yeah.
This was a masterpiece.
This is a masterpiece. Absolutely.
So fucking good. Visually, like I said, it's by far one of the greatest. It's not, in my opinion, it's factual, period. It is the best looking game on the Wii U, and in my opinion, one of the best looking games I've ever seen.
Yeah, stylistically.
Yeah, there's so many moving parts in all the levels as you go through. A lot of variety.
The minecart level that takes place in that fruit world.
Oh, so
I
fucking
will,
awesome.
for the rest of my life, never forget how gorgeous that level is. The use of colors is incredible.
Yep, soundtrack is near perfect. David Weiss comes back to compose it. Seamlessly changes as you go throughout the level.
Yeah, when you go underwater, how it plays the
aquatic ambience. Yeah. Yep. And finally, for the first time ever, outside of Kiddy Kong, you can play as every fucking Kong from the original trilogy.
Yeah.
Even Cranky, whom basically never been able to play as him before.
He's got the DuckTales pogo stick hop.
Yeah, he's like Scrooge McDuck.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
We played through this on stream together, and it was insanely fun. Insanely challenging. It's a really hard game.
It is much, much harder than you would think.
Yeah.
I mean, the original trilogy wasn't exactly extremely easy either.
No, they weren't super easy, but they weren't as hard as Returns and Tropical Freeze.
These are, seems like these are geared towards people who played the original trilogy.
Yeah.
And, it's like, okay, well, now that you've grown up, here's your grown-up fucking difficulty, Donkey Kong Country. Because, they are fucking hard.
I know a lot of people really want Retro Studios to either make another Metroid Prime game or do a new IP.
How about you fuck off with Prime and you just do, a 2D Metroid, like everyone wants?
I mean, I want a 2D Metroid, but I don't want Retro to make it. I'll let somebody else do it.
That's fine.
Splatoon team make it.
Do I?
Let the Splatoon team make it.
Oh no, let's keep letting them do what they're doing.
No, how about you get the guy that did AM2R and give him a supporting team and have him head the project.
Really
That's one thing Nintendo could learn from Valve. Valve picked up the Onward developers.
Yeah.
Valve also fucking allowed Black Mesa Source,
the
remake of Half-Life. They're like, this is actually that good where we'll allow you to use the IP and sell it on our store.
Yeah.
Would have fucking believed it. Nintendo would have been like, no. We're not going to do that. We're not going to remake this game, but you can't, though.
Even the Sonic, Sega and the Sonic teams, hire fan makers, fan gamers.
Yeah.
Sonic Mania is made by fan-made Sonic teams. The head people on that game.
Well, I think this is a little bit off topic, but I think a bigger part of the problem is that Nintendo does not... I would say that you would have a better chance getting hired by Nintendo in that fashion if you are Japanese.
For sure.
Which a lot of the people making fan-made games aren't.
Yeah.
And they're just like, no.
Yeah.
You gringos get out of here. We don't know.
They're a very, traditional company and they at least traditionally Japanese, and they're very like can't think of the right. I don't want to use like a negative word to describe it, but they're very set in the way they like to do things.
Well, they put Japan first, which is
that's
not a dig on them. That's just how it is.
Yeah.
Sometimes it seems like
it results in a lot of decisions. It's like, we've talked about how Reggie, although he's the president of Nintendo of America, he still has to answer to Japan. So if you think about something like why are there Amiibo shortages or NES Classic shortages or any of that, a lot of those are Reggie's call, and at least my speculation. And a lot of that is because Reggie does not want to disappoint Nintendo. He would rather have, in terms of at least shortages, rather have people clamoring for something they can't have than have something collecting dust. So, there are a lot of decisions that are made at Nintendo in order to make sure that they are following the correct structure by which the heads of Nintendo want.
Yeah, but hopefully some of those people will fucking die. Unfortunately, Iwata was one of them.
Iwata was great.
I know. That's what I mean. Like, he was too soon. The ones who were keeping it so old school Japan focused and not allowing to spread out to the rest of the world like other companies have.
Yeah.
If they could just go ahead and fucking either retire or croak, that'd be great. I feel like that would help Nintendo move forward in a good way.
Yeah. But 10 years.
We'll see.
Do what?
Give it like 10 years.
But if
not, them rolled.
Yeah. If nothing else, though.
I mean, Kimishima is definitely not a young buck.
Rare Studios.
Retro Studios.
Retro is, I think, American based.
Yeah,
they're based here in Austin, actually. Texas. So at least they were able to give. Wouldn't say it's their most beloved IP. Either one of them, actually. Like, you can have Metroid and Donkey Kong. Fuck you. But you know what? At least they to Nintendo, they don't care about those IPs as much. And that's us, very important.
Well,
they've done them justice.
That's what I was saying earlier. Is a lot of people want them to go back to Metroid or create a new IP. I think they're going to do a new IP. I'm not sure, but I want them to complete the Returns trilogy. I want one more.
We do
Donkey
need
Kong
another
Country game.
Absolutely.
I
don't think it's going to happen. Did they say? Didn't they say what they weren't?
I mean, I don't know if they've said anything about it, but that's what I want. I want one more Donkey Kong Country.
I don't think this one sold that well either, did it?
No, it didn't do too well. It scored great on Metacritic, or decently well on Metacritic. Definitely like an underappreciated, underrated. I think if there is like one game from the Wii U that you probably didn't play that you should, as a normal people,
like me,
it should be this. Yeah, if you haven't finished this, I would definitely finish this.
I own it at least. I bought it because I knew it was going to be good.
Yeah, it's very
incredible. But
okay, rule.
I feel like,
I
do feel like it's a bit of an overarching story with today's episode. Is just a lot of those games are great, but the Wii did not sell well. Yeah. So a lot of the games are not going to sell well.
For sure.
I mean, that's always been my problem with Nintendo, though. Which has been like, okay, we're going to give you another Metroid game. Yeah. And then it's Other M, and it's like, wow, we fucking hate this. And they're like, guess nobody likes Metroid anymore, huh? Yeah. Well, but fuck it, it's dead. And it's like, no. You keep giving it to us like with a side order of shit and expecting us to fucking smile and eat it. And you're like, guess people don't like Prime Rib anymore. God, what the fuck?
I guess no one likes Metroid.
So I feel like that's exactly what's going to happen in Donkey Kong Country. It's like, look, you released it kind of not at the greatest time, not at the greatest console. And you're like, no, good. Guess people just don't like DKC. It's like, no, that's not what it is. But, yep. All right.
That's it. That's our top 10 Wii U games. Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. Forever. In the annals of CSA top 10s. Let's move on.
All right.
This is kind of our final topic before we close out. We're getting a Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. We're getting Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Sorry. Mario Kart 8 in a deluxe form for the Switch. And it comes out next month. Or, I'm sorry, April. It's adding a battle mode. It's adding some new characters. No new, single player tracks, but we're getting a lot of, circuit tracks, but we are getting a lot of new battle arenas. So what games do you guys want? Since, a big theme here is that the Wii U did not do super well. Which games from the Wii U library do you want to be ported over to the Nintendo Switch? Or at least new versions of games within that series? Obviously, we're already getting Splatoon.
Donkey Kong Country 2 Tropical Freeze.
What I actually
So I
want
can
is,
rebuy it, and hopefully they'll make a third one.
I want them to release a third one, and I want them to release like a Donkey Kong Country Returns trilogy for Switch, where they like up-res Returns a little bit, put it in HD, and you get like a 3-pack that's like all three of the Returns games, at least the retro Donkey Kong games. And if we don't get a third one, then do a 2-pack that includes both. I would love to play that on the Switch.
I love to say Smash 4, but I don't know if that'll do well without a GameCube controller. As far as I'm aware, there's not a USB port.
I think Smash 4 is a brilliant idea. I think if they...
Well, there's plenty of DLC characters. They should do a deluxe edition.
Include all the DLC characters, add a couple of characters that we missed, maybe add, Snake and Ice Climbers and all that. Add like the Splatoon, the Squidling, the Squid Boy, and Squid Girl. Like, add a couple of new characters, make a couple of new levels, add a single-player mode. Yep. That's the big thing. Like, give me, like, a Subspace Emissary. The single-player campaign for Smash 4 was mediocre. Like, I want something like the GameCube one that was, like, a side-scrolling adventure. That's all through all the different worlds. Give me something like that has, like, Smash fights at the end of the stage. Like, go all fucking out. Do it big. All the DLC.
Weren't we gonna get something like that? But then it was leaked, and they were like, "Well, guess fuck you guys." Then.
Well, there were rumors that we were getting a Smash, Mario Kart, Splatoon, and Mario Maker were all going to be ported to a Switch, and partially true because we got Mario Kart, partially untrue because we're not getting Splatoon. We're getting a Splatoon 2, but we just don't know about Smash and we don't know about Mario Maker.
The reason Smash 4 didn't have a campaign is because the Space Emissary one, was all the campaigns was uploaded to YouTube.
Yeah.
And they're like, alright, fuck it, no campaign.
That's the dumbest reason I've ever heard in my entire life.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Yeah.
They're like, you ruined it. That's like Nintendo's acting like the fucking lame-ass parents who, if their kid finds the Christmas present in the closet, they're like, guess it's going back to the store then.
Yeah. It's got nothing.
And it's like, what, because you didn't get to fucking...
me, that sounds like an excuse.
Because you didn't get to have the fucking good feeling of surprising somebody?
That sounds like a complete excuse to me.
It could be an excuse.
That's what they said, though.
That's what they said, but
people say excuses all the time. I think an excuse. Because it's probably...
Wouldn't he come up with a better excuse, though?
I mean,
that doesn't make you look like such petty dickheads.
Which is like... We have a certain limited number of resources to be able to dedicate to this, and we would rather dedicate it to the
wasn't the whole thing uploaded
version.
though? Like it was done?
No, the Wii one was uploaded. The Wii U one. That's why they did not add a campaign to the Wii U one, because the Wii one was uploaded.
Oh,
the Spacesuit Emissary or whatever.
Yeah.
I feel like with Smash 4, they're just like, we got the Switch here in 2 years. I'm not going to bother with the campaign.
I mean, I'm okay with that if that's what the actual version is. Is that we're going to have a version of on the Wii U, on the Switch that includes everything. But that's what I want. Like, that's one of the reasons I didn't spend a lot of time with Smash is like, I don't play Smash competitively. I don't like have a lot of people over my house and play multiplayer. I don't like playing Smash online. So like, give me a good reason to play single player. Give me a good reason to go through. And the quote unquote single player that we did have, it was like those challenges where you went through that map. It just like wasn't designed super well. I just wasn't into it.
Yeah. Kind of a bit more on topic. I like a Pikmin trilogy on the Switch.
That'd be cool.
That'd be cool.
And they did that on the Wii. Like, you can play Pikmin 1 and 2 on it. Let's do it with the Switch, too.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be that much more work.
For sure. And one of the ones that we kind of just touched on with the rumors, Mario Maker. Like, add Mario Maker. Add a Mario Brothers 2 theme or skin. The Doki Doki Panic.
Oh, that'd be fucking weird.
Yeah, but it's cool. Just add it.
Yeah,
don't give that to me.
No, I'd be all about it.
Each
and then,
plays
add just a couple extra features, make sure all the stuff that, came out as DLC throughout that was free DLC, make sure that's all there.
I'd be okay with them re-releasing it if there's also, like, a campaign made by Nintendo on it.
That'd be cool.
Like, just like a short 8-world thing, maybe like 4 stages.
They did that on the 3DS version. There's, like, instead of having, like, the regular 100 Mario challenge, there's, like, there's
like 6 stages, 8 stages or something.
Here's a bunch of levels made by Nintendo. But have them have, like, a coherency and maybe a story, too.
Yeah. But even then, like, there's not much of a story in Mario games.
For sure.
Princess Peach was stolen? Alright, go get her.
Yeah. It'd be cool if there was, like, a kind of similar to how they do with the Paper Mario games, where, like, in Color Splash, there's a bunch of things where the color was taken out of the world. So in Mario Maker, it could be things where it was like, you have to get through the level, and similar to how the tutorial worked, where you had to build the level to be able to progress. It'd be cool if there was a campaign around that concept.
I mean, just like the Magic Koopa switched it to New Super Mario 3.
Yeah.
Find a way across it now.
Yeah. They give you like a limited number of resources. It's like, okay, you have 5 blocks and 3 bouncy pads and 5 ramps or whatever to be able to like get through this portion of the map. Otherwise, I would just draw a bridge and cross.
You're sitting on a gold mine. That's a great idea.
Yeah.
I can only think about other games I'd want ported over, though.
I mean, pretty much, honestly, anything that made it into our top 10.
Yeah, I mean, definitely.
Like, I would say if it made it to our top 10, find a way to get it on. Because the Wii U had a lot of great stuff to it, and there were a lot of people who didn't buy a Wii U that I'm confident will be buying Switches, so give them an opportunity to play some of those games they missed. Dude, your cat's gonna have a stroke.
I don't know what the fuck's wrong with her tonight, man. She's like going nuts.
Anything else?
That's basically it for me. My answer was basically yours, but so Mario Maker and fucking DKC.
Yeah.
You know what else I think should be ported over? The Virtual Console.
I was gonna bring that up.
I don't even want to talk about Virtual Console. We talked about it last week.
Yep. Probably talking about it this week.
No, I want to port it over?
No, you mean we talked about it 2 weeks ago?
Yes, 2 weeks ago.
Definitely 2 weeks ago.
Definitely 2 weeks ago.
No, it's always.
By the way, how was your surgery? Did go well?
It went well. Much better.
Wait a minute.
I feel good.
If your surgery went well, then
how is your New York trip going right now?
Hopefully okay.
Have you gone to see the Captain Nintendo dude yet in front of the Nintendo store?
No.
Did you go to the Nintendo store and pick me up
Yes.
that thing I wanted you to? Thank you.
Did you pick me up that
You're
Mario
welcome.
dildo I asked for? At the Nintendo store?
Yes.
Thank you. You're a nice
Yes,
guy.
I did.
Thank you.
Does it
Thank
have a
you
big
for those
mushroom
things
tip?
that have happened in the past and not the future.
You're welcome.
I hope everyone enjoyed their February 22nd.
It's been good. The 20th was a kind of a weird day.
Yeah.
But
we
got a lot of really great Nintendo Switch news lately that like there's just, since we're talking Wii U, we're just not going to talk about that stuff.
Yeah, we'll skip over it.
We'll skip over
That's for next episode.
Yes, that's for next episode.
Which is like the day or two before it comes out.
Yes, the day before the Switch comes out.
Comes out on
In
a
8
Friday?
days from now. That comes out the 3rd.
On a Friday?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yep.
All right, boys.
That's it.
Well, we definitely don't have another prep ape to do in 15 minutes. So let's go ahead and end this one.
All right. Thanks for hanging out, guys.
All right. See you later.
See you, ladies.
I'm Major Tom.
DKP.
Senpai
All right.
Tomato.
See you, fellas.